Now, an exclusive 2 News investigation. Disturbing details about children sold as sex slaves right here in the Dayton region.
In fact, experts say it's the second most common crime in our country, a $10 billion a year business. Libby Kirsch investigates with help from Crusaders trying to break the chains of slavery.
It's America's dirty little secret. And I think sometimes it's just fresh meat out there.
When you think about slaves, you think about chains. Well, these people have chains, but many of them are invisible.
It's all about power and control and money.
From a distance, Teresa Flores looks like a typical suburban mom out for a brisk walk on a nice autumn day. But by her own admission, she's still looking over her shoulder for the predator who in the 1980s tricked her into becoming a sex slave.
It was just a simple act. It was just one simple decision that really started the whole thing. A boy in this group had asked me if I wanted to ride home from school. So it was something very simple. And I said yes. I was 15, very excited. And then he unfortunately had not taken me home.
Instead, Teresa said that boy took her to his home, slipped a drug in her Coke, and raped her.
That's kind of how they broke me.
When Teresa woke up, she was living out a 2-year nightmare, enslaved by the photos of her rape.
Then they presented an envelope to me after that with pictures and said, "You'll earn these back, or we'll kill your family. We'll show them to everyone at school, to your dad's boss, to the priest at church."
Controlled by her pimp, shackled by her own shame and guilt, Teresa became a modern-day slave.
Just keep thinking, this is the last time I have to do this. It'll be over, or tomorrow it won't be this way. Because you're a kid, but it's not that way. It just gets bigger and bigger.
Teresa said only a miracle saved her from her ordeal. When she was 17, her father transferred to a new job, moved the family to a new city hundreds of miles from her captors. Unfortunately, many children aren't that lucky. The State Department estimates that up to 300,000 children in the United States are at risk for sexual exploitation. As many as 17,500 may already be in a pipeline that runs through Ohio, from Toledo to Cleveland to Cincinnati and the Dayton region. Children as young as 9, white girls typically recruited at age 12, often by members of the Russian mafia who sell children for sex worlds away. What makes Dayton a potential haven? Experts say our proliferation of interstates, strip clubs, colleges, and a military base enable pimps to profit and earn up to $600,000 a year.
Now, if you want something really young, that $200 just cost a little more than that.
Sure.
But how young you talking? Talk to me.
Well, how young do you have?
Well, I don't have nothing younger than 14.
Yeah, look at our statistics on sexual abuse, child abuse. We'll take that and multiply it 100 times, and you have a pimp. You've got a good recruiter, you have someone who knows the system, you have someone who really doesn't care and will do anything to get what they want.
Joanne Hale is the director of Montgomery County's Sunrise Center. She tracks prostitution and is helping state officials review the human trafficking issue here in Dayton.
You start looking at how does this go under the radar? How do these kids get recruited? There's many layers of people working on all of this, and it's very slick business. It's like Quicksilver.
Hale says trafficking is strictly a supply and demand business, driven by Johns who will pay nearly any price to have sex with children.
Start looking at pictures of these girls being beaten and abused, raped, violated, doing 20 customers a day.
University of Dayton professor Mark Encelaco is also hoping to break the chains of child slavery. On November 9th and 10th, Encelaco will spearhead UD's first ever conference on human trafficking, a conference with a singular purpose.
The truth of the improbable statement, there may be slaves in Ohio.
Teresa Flores will be a keynote speaker at the UD conference. She's an alumnus who believes awareness is the best weapon against the chains of slavery.
When I found out I wasn't the only one, it was like, I'll be damned if I'm going to let that happen to somebody else. And I consider it's America's dirty little secret that nobody's talking about. And it's time that we blow this secret out of the water.
Now, Teresa isn't taking any chances with her own kids. She's a single mom, and she told us she uses a security system, dogs, and a nightly bed check to make sure her kids are safe. She's urging all parents to have an honest, frank conversation about the threat of slavery, even if you live out in the suburbs.
Certainly an eye-opener. I mean, wow. So UD, Libby, is having this conference. What else is being done to break this child slavery chain?
Well, coming up, even just this last Tuesday, the FBI busted traffickers in Toledo, Cleveland, and 34 other cities across the country. They rescued 52 children just in that one day. Also in July, Ohio passed its first anti-trafficking law, and the state now has a task force that includes Clark County Sheriff Gene Kelly, and his mission in the task force is to train officers on how to find slavery and then how to combat it.
Wow. This is such an eye-opener. I mean, who had any idea that was happening anywhere, let alone here, to this degree? What about the victims? Who's helping them?
Well, Teresa Flores, the victim herself, she is out there getting help to other victims now. She's opened a new shelter in Logan County. Grace Haven has about 36 beds, but it's just one of 3 or 4 shelters in the whole country. Much of the funding comes from the church and the public sector, so we've got a long way to go to rescue and restore these children trafficked for sex.
Just unreal.
It is hard to believe. Okay. Thanks so much, Libby. Appreciate it.